Hello, everyone. Joe again. Today I want to talk about purpose. It's a ambiguous term. It's hard to fully understand. I think a lot of people struggle with knowing what their purpose is, especially nowadays in our generation. Gen Z. I think I'm Gen X. I don't fucking know. Anyway, um, nowadays there's a lot more distraction than there is pursuing bigger goals, right? I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. I know you have. It's talked about all the time. It's something I think about and have thought about a lot in my own life. It's like, okay, what the hell am I doing distracting myself 24/7? Why am I doing this? Why am I always trying to numb and get away from the pain or the discomfort? Or like at a certain point, I'm like, I'm not even like uncomfortable with being with myself. I just want to distract myself still. It's just a habit. Um, and I would say pretty confidently that my tendency to distract is significantly reduced compared to what it's been in the past. And so there's a few things that have allowed me to do that. Frankly, I want to say purpose is one of them, but I couldn't ever have been in a place where I even had the capacity to develop my own idea of what my overarching purpose is without delving deeply into meditation or not even delving deeply, incorporating meditation into my daily habits and really starting to cultivate mindfulness. I I don't think that I could have recovered from the level of distraction that was inherent to or the level of, not because it's not inherent. You can grow in two directions. You can grow in the direction of becoming more distracted, or you can, um, and that's what happened to me. And there was a lot of things growing up that encouraged me to hide from the pain of everything. And so that's what distraction is, right? Hiding from the pain. And the real way I got out of that was by working very diligently over years to develop my mindfulness through meditation. The Waking Up app is how I did it originally. Um, I would just continue to tell myself like this is important, this is valuable. I never really saw the full picture when I was doing it, but it felt like the right thing to do. And I've seen subtle differences, and I could speak about those. And more recently, I've seen some pretty drastic differences. And if you were to compare me now to me a year ago or further back, um, I think that there's been big leaps in who I am as a person, and a few factors influencing that. But meditation is very relevant in my overall capacity to change, to adapt, to learn, to develop new skills, to shed old habits that no longer serve me. Meditation was essential to that. And now that I've come to I would say that I'm down here distraction wise, but I've come to a baseline. Like, all right, I'm not really distracting myself nearly as much as I have been. And when I am distracting myself, I'm being mindful of it. Now it's like, all right, that's baseline. How do you move from there? Like, okay, I could sit in my room and be bored and be okay with being bored. What's the next step? What's the next evolution of life? And to me, that's been developing what I mentioned before, a purpose. And I use quotations because to me, it still feels ambiguous. This idea of like, oh, I have a thing that I'm pursuing, a bigger goal. I think in Eastern philosophy, it's called a dharma. So this this mission that I'm on. Um, it's like after you get comfortable sitting in your room, you start to realize like, oh, I have a lot of time. I have a lot of time on my hands, and a lot of energy. And it's like, what do I do with this? And so I'm in the what do I do with it part. And personally, I've chosen to go to school and pursue a higher education, and potentially go to med school or become a licensed therapist. That's the path that I'll put myself on. Now, what's beautiful about this idea of having a purpose is it's not. It's still it's still something that's very much in a moment to moment thing. Like, yeah, I could say I want to go to med school, um, and I could say that but that doesn't, just because that is a long term goal doesn't make it my purpose. I think the importance when considering what is or isn't a purpose is how it influences your daily actions. Um, so if you have something that's like a true yearning, like a deep dharma, a deep purpose. I don't know if I'm using the word correctly, but I like the idea of it. Um, it intertwines itself with your daily thoughts. That's the big thing. It intertwines yourself. It is a new piece of you that moves with you and helps to align your actions with that bigger thing. So like, yeah, it's important. Set the North Star, set the goal, but then realize that the act of setting the goal is literally just so that every day you have a better understanding as to what you're going to be doing with um, your daily actions. It's not actually like there's no real utility because it's years, months, years, decades away, that bigger goal. So like if you're trying to act in a way where you're only trying to, like, if your only goal is to get to that place, like get to that purpose, no, that's not how it works. But by setting it and then really like encouraging yourself and developing that connection to this larger picture, it impacts your day-to-day actions. So for me this morning, I wanted to play a video game, Binding of Isaac. It's fun. I don't normally play, but I downloaded it on my computer. I tend to download it and delete it every once in a while. And usually when I would get into playing this in the past, I would like go to bed, I would wake up, and or like going to bed, I'd have these ideas as to what I would want to do with my time. Then I would um, fall asleep, wake up, and instead of doing what I had wanted to do earlier in the night, I in the past would tend towards, going to the distraction, going towards the stimulation of the video game. Today was really a big day for me because not only did I have this like yearning in my mind to play Binding of Isaac, like it was there, but I got up this morning and went for the walk that I told myself I'd do last night. And then I got back and played a round. But after that round, this usually I would keep on going and keep on going until I fucking couldn't anymore. Today I played one round, started the next round despite telling myself I'd only play one, and then quitting it because I knew that I needed to do something more important, which was my daily meditation. And it's just such a so it's really complex. There's a lot to consider when trying to figure out, like, what is it that I do? What is it that someone should do? Because it's like, yeah, you set your purpose, but then you think, okay, how do I be skillful in achieving that purpose? And so like for me, I know that it's meditation, and I know that it's going to be creating videos like this, and I know that it's going to be volunteering, and so I have these ideas as to what that is, but that's just my intuition. And so I don't really know how to help other people develop their intuition. Mine happens to be strong. I don't know why. and I don't know enough about other people to know if this is where other people are at. But I think I could literally go on for hours. There's so many things to talk about. And once again, I'll be wanting to be a bit more succinct in these videos as I continue. Just spend more time thinking ahead of time. What is it that I want to do with each of these commentaries? It's just going to be important for me to be able to develop the skill of structure and be purposeful speaking, so I don't, because there are things that I want to say about purpose, and but I need to develop my thoughts ahead of time instead of just jumping straight into the deep end of a video commentary, because then I just end up word vomiting. So thank you for listening to another video, and I appreciate the opportunity to discuss this stuff. I think that this is what is important to our life and to being a human. It's like, why do we why do we wake up in the morning? What's the point? Seriously. Because you could it's easy to get into a trap of there just being fucking no point to life. And so you literally have to make it up. Like, you literally have to make it up. It's wild. Like, I could just say, no, there's no point. And then there isn't. But now that I have a overarching purpose, it's like I have a reason to do everything that I'm doing in my life. A reason to do it. Oh, it's like so cool. It feels so good. Like, I feel energized just speaking about it. And it may be that I just had a cup of coffee and kind of chugged it before the video. It may be that. But, yeah. To the future. Seriously. I'm so grateful to be on this earth. Is what I tell myself every day. All right. Love you guys. And thanks for everything. Bye.